Hey, Richest, you money maniacs, welcome back. In this video, we're going to talk about how following the money just doesn't work anymore. Let's get right to it. Hey, Richest, you money maniacs, welcome back. Tom coming at you. In this video, I want to talk about how in old movies or even just detective stories, you used to read about how the police and detectives would follow the money to find out what's really going on. Who was motivated to kill so-and-so or steal from this person or kidnap this person or hold this person for ransom? Where did the money come from? How was it used? And where did it end up going? That was always the blueprint for any good detective. So if you're a detective of the economy and you're a detective of where to put your money best, to serve you best, to make you the most value, for your investment, then what you do is you start looking at things like market indicators. You start looking at charts and you start going to the Federal Reserve website and you look at what they print, or you look at the government reporting economic indicators and you look at how things are looking. How's employment looking? What's the rate of unemployment? What's the interest rate at? How much money is moving from here to there? What industry is performing well? Who's getting the most profits? You start paying attention to what's actually happening. Now, that's called following the money. If you just follow the money, you'll always know what's happening. Well, that's not the case anymore. Now laws have been passed and are even being passed as I speak right now, making this, that allow for the charts that you normally would look at to not reflect accurate information. Now, this is not new, actually. The government, elected officials and departments and agencies in the government have put out economic charts and economic indicators with skewed numbers for millennia, as long as they've been in office, because it's always about making the numbers look good to make sure that whoever they want elected or not elected, so they get the right result, right? And it's not hard to do. If you just exclude this group from this chart, then the chart looks like it did better. But if you bring in this group of people also, well, then you see what really happened economically. For instance, what's happening right now with all these lockdowns and the health challenge around the world. Well, all right, we're going to count how many people are actually working past this date. Well, this date happens to be when the lockdown occurred. So there's going to be a lot less people to count. But of those people, how many are still working? Well, 100%. Is it really 100%? Or did some of them lose their jobs too? Oh, well, that small percentage of people who were counted from this date out are the people that we're going to count as unemployed now, recently unemployed. And we're going to label it recently unemployed and not total unemployed. This is not everybody who has suffered from this most recent, catastrophe in finance and health, right? So that's just a small example of how charts can be manipulated. Or even when you look at the Federal Reserve notes, or Federal Reserve charts, you go to their website and you look at how much currency they're printing per day, or you look at how many bonds and treasury bills they're buying, or how much debt they're buying, or what they're buying, and you look at what they're doing, you have to take into consideration all the little stars and asterisks that they put up there that say, except for this date, except for this group, or except for this amount, and this amount is not counted, or all these different exclusions that make the chart look like it's actually okay. Now, the best example of that, of course, right now is the stock market. If there has ever been a perfect example of a chart being manipulated, it is the stock market en masse. All of them, Nikkei, NASDAQ, New York Stock Exchange, they are all being completely manipulated. How can I say that so confidently? Well, because, for example, the New York Stock Exchange, there's actually really only about 5 or 6 companies that are actually even being counted for the value of the New York Stock Exchange at this point, because all of the other ones are crashing horribly. They're all going out of business. Well, if they're bankrupt, they don't get counted anymore because they get taken off of the stock market, right? So there's all these little caveats as to why they're not counting those. So now you've got a stock market that's skyrocketing. It's still doing great. And isn't it wonderful? But we're counting less of the companies that were listed. We're not actually showing you how many companies just got decimated by the quantitative easing the Federal Reserve has engaged in since 2008, right? And oh, by the way, we're not counting the tens of millions of people who are unemployed now because of the health challenge lockdowns that are occurring around the entire globe, or all kinds of different economic indicators like the housing bubble that is occurring, the complete tidal wave of bankruptcies that are flooding the entire commercial real estate market, all of the manufacturing that's down, the trucking industries, which by the way are the lifeblood of the country, especially economically, which are folding, they're closing, they're going out of business. They can't do it anymore. There's too much risk. It's probably because of their insurance rates. Now, what's my point with all of this? My point is that you can't just follow the money anymore. You actually have to learn to become an economic sleuth. You have to become like Sherlock Holmes in the economy. You have to look at things that seem completely unrelated and then work logically back to how that would impact a real economy. What would that actually do to the real GDP if it were reflected? You know, I just did a video on usdebtclock.org, and it shows all the numbers of the U.S. debt, how much is owed by each citizen, by each taxpayer, the actual price of gold, what it should be, the price of silver, what it should be, and all these other indicators. That's a great source too, because it's not being manipulated. It's just telling you, bam, here's the number. Do with it what you will. You need to learn to think and to discern constructively, creatively. You need to be able to understand more about the fundamentals of what makes an economy work. And that's why at Richest You, I'm so emphatic about understanding the difference between money and currency, and why precious metals are so important, why tax-free compound interest is so important through a laser fund. Those things, that understanding of, well, if people don't have money, they're not going to shop as much, they're not going to buy new cars, they're not going to buy new houses, they'll probably rent, and they'll probably look for the cheapest rent. That type of thinking will help you be able to discern where the economy is going and where you can invest your value best. And I don't mean just putting your currency into an industry as an investment or even precious metals or a laser fund. I mean in terms of where you put your effort. What do you do for a job? What do you do to generate money to pay your bills, currency to pay your bills? You may need to think about a career change. I mean, in this climate right now, you've got young people, middle-aged, and old people competing for low-paying jobs. And the job market is shrinking. It's like it's imploding like a black hole. It's just getting sucked. There's nothing there. Now, the really wonderful good news is that if you position yourself correctly, you can leverage all of this shrinkage to your advantage. You can be smarter than most people just by being read, well studied, right? So I would encourage you to start learning how the economy actually functions. Look up what it takes to manufacture something. Look up what it actually takes to build an app, to learn to program, to build a computer. Look up what's popular. What products are popular when people have no money? When people have no money, what do they spend their money on? Well, food and shelter first. But you know what? People always want to forget their troubles. So they're going to look for some source of entertainment. And if it's not free, then it's going to be cheap. And a lot of people actually turn to drugs and alcohol. Now, if that's something you're comfortable moving into as far as an industry, God bless you. It's not something I'm real comfortable with, but hey, this is business. And if you're going to take advantage of the fact that everybody's spending their money on alcohol, maybe it's time to buy a liquor store. Maybe it's time to start your own beer line. Maybe it's time to start a vodka line. Who can say? But the idea here is to think critically. Think like an educated individual about Well, if I were in this person's shoes and I just got laid off and I have no job prospects and I know my government dole is going to run out, what would I do? That's a need. They have need. There's so many people in the world right now that have massive need that it's probably one of the most incredible opportunities that the world has ever known in terms of the entire history of the world, because it's the whole world that needs it. Now it needs people who understand that and can position themselves and leverage themselves to provide that need at an affordable price with a quality product or a quality service and reap the benefit of being the person who saw it first. So you can't follow the money anymore because nobody's being honest about it. You have to follow the actual elements and commodities and all the different moving parts of the economy and understand how that works. That is what I would encourage you to start studying more. I know that I am, and the things that I'm finding are truly alarming. There is incredible loss occurring right now, and most people don't even know it. However, there's also incredible opportunity. So make sure you study how the economy actually functions and moves and begin looking for those trends, because people need help. And maybe there's a way to make money while you help them. There's all kinds of different opportunities. All right, so I hope that helped in terms of mastering your own finances, especially in how to apply it to yourself and to finding your way to a new position, a new industry to work in, or maybe even buying a business. And so in the meantime, if you haven't already, please give a thumbs up for this video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you again next time.